Welcome to Law Family. This video is helpful to the law students and newly practicing young advocates only. Today, we discuss about the part 2 of sections 316, 1 and 2 of BNS Act 2023. Corresponding law is 405 and 406 of IPC. Criminal breach of trust. Evidence proof that the accused was the clerk or servant of the person reposing trust. Second one is that he was in such capacity entrusted with the property in question or with the dominion over it. Third one is that the committed criminal breach of trust is in respect of it. That is, that the accused knew that in respect of such a transaction, the servant was acting dishonestly and was committing a breach of trust.
Welcome. More discussions about point 3. Where a property is entrusted to a servant and such servant fails to return or to account or gives an account which is shown to be false and incredible, it is ordinarily a reasonable inference that he has criminally misappropriated the property so entrusted to him and dishonestly converted it to his own use. In such cases, the Hon'ble Courts are entitled to draw hostile inferences and presumptions from the action and statements of the servant. The duty of the prosecution to prove that the accused had not in fact made the payments.
Some more topics on criminal breach of trust. Loan. If a sum of money is advanced by way of loan, no criminal breach of trust is committed, even if the borrower uses it for a purpose other than that for which the advance was made. In case of buying paddy, accused signed a demand promissory note for the amount of advance. The accused failed to carry out the arrangement and was convicted of criminal breach of trust. The conviction was bad as the transaction amounted to a loan and not a trust.
Pledge. A person who pledges what is pledged to him in violation of any direction of law or contract or denies the pledge is guilty of criminal breach of trust. Deposit. The accused was an employee of a person and at the time he entered service furnished a certain amount in cash as security. At the time of leaving, he handed over the account papers to his master and he shown one item of expenditure shown in the account papers was the withdrawal of the money that he had put in as security. It was held that no dishonest intention could be made on the part of the accused. Here, the work of this section do not embrace the case of a man who has taken an article on hair and fails to produce it. There must be some evidence he acted dishonestly. Hair purchase agreement. If a person gets an article under hair purchase agreement and subsequently sells it without making payments in full to the person from whom he has hired it, he commits a criminal breach of trust. Disputed claim. There is no offense unless the claim is merely a preference and not bona fide. Sorry. There is no offense unless the claim is merely a pretense and not bona fide. That is not trust. Dishonestly misappropriates or converts to his own use that property. That is, any breach of trust is not an offense. That is, any breach of trust is not an offense. Dishonest intention is the gist of the offense.
Misappropriates. There may be misappropriates by a mental act without any actual expenditure of the money thus appropriated. Mental appropriation must be established by some overt and visible act, but actual expenditure of the money is not only proof of it. Dishonest conversion. It is to be proved in the latter offense was materially different from the intention required in the offense of criminal breach of trust. Stakeholder. He who misappropriates to his own use the stakes deposited with him for a wager is guilty of criminal breach of trust.
Dishonestly uses or disposes of the property in violation of any direction of law or of any legal contract touching the discharge of such trust or willfully suffers any other person so to do. Next, legally contract. Violation of a contract in respect of legal or valid contract and not one for a criminal purpose. That is, example, purchases of stolen property, etc. Next, willful omission to account. Next, false accounting. Use of provident fund. Next, use of provident fund. Employer decides to invest employees' provident fund to his own business will not amount to criminal breach of trust. The obligation would be only a civil liability. Next, bona fide claim. Where a bona fide claim of title is raised, founded, or unfounded, the accused is entitled to a acquittal. Next, punishment section. 316, section 316(2) of BNS Act. Punishment. Whoever commits criminal breach of trust shall be punished up to 5 years imprisonment or fine or with both. Next case. In case of whoever, in case of carrier, wharfinger, warehouse keeper commits criminal breach of trust shall be punished up to 7 years imprisonment with fine. Next case. In case of clerk or servant entrusted with any dominant property commits criminal breach of trust shall be punished up to 7 years imprisonment and with fine. Next case. In case of public servant entrusted with domain over property commits criminal breach of trust shall be punished up to 10 years imprisonment with fine. Thank you.
Thank you.